Hello again. I always find it a little embarrassing when some writer or film star complains about not being given a prize. It is undignified and makes you look like a poor loser. This is true even if you happen to be black. It's still not a good look. The other day, the director of a film about the victim of a lynching in 1955 complained that the fact that she had not been nominated for an Oscar was clear evidence of racial prejudice. Now, the woman who stars in this film, as the mother of the lynched boy, is also moaning. Danielle Deadwyler may be seen in the thumbnail to this video. She too thinks that systemic racism is to blame for the fact that she's not in the running for an Oscar. She says, and I quote, "Cinematic history is 100+ years old. I would dare say the system is deeply, deeply impacted by systemic racism that has shaped our country." She went on, "Yes, there is value to what Chukwu said, and it's imperative that every quality of our life begin to truly deeply integrate and shift and rupture and radically shift the way they seek to actually be an equitable institution." That really is a truly atrocious sentence. Never mind about the split infinitives. It's practically incomprehensible. I'm sorry to laugh. I hope to get through that with a straight face. To be brutally honest, I mean, what she's saying there doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But the gist of it is, apparently, that she is trying to get across the idea that she was robbed of her chance by racism. I'm bound to say that I find this implausible. Does anybody watching this video seriously believe that the film industry is working to exclude black people from films which are currently being made? In fact, of course, the case is diametrically opposite to this situation. Every film now made, no matter what period it is set in, has to include black people in it. Whether it's in ancient Rome, Tudor England, Regency, London during the Blitz, you will see black people. It's the same in television dramas, of course. It is vanishingly rare to watch something these days without being well aware that those casting it have made some conscious decisions about sticking black people in. They've decided beforehand that a surgeon will have to be a black woman, and so must a judge, a senior police officer, and so on. It makes no difference how implausible this makes the thing appear, how weirdly unlike the real world. It is always done these days. Part of this is, of course, because companies are starting to realise that people might not deal with them unless they include a certain number of black people in their films and so on. But whatever the reason, it is the state of affairs. Rather than excluding black people, I sometimes think that studios must be grabbing them off the street and signing them up on the spot just to fill their quotas. Which brings me to the real reason that Oscars for black people might not be so common. Acting is a very white profession. This is not due to racism so much as the fact that most students at drama schools are from homes where the parents have enough money to support them and the students aren't desperate to earn a regular living as soon as they're able. A number of acquaintances of mine attended drama school, but none of them are now actors. All are white and middle class. Look at the students in the average drama school and the same thing will still be seen. Most young black people are anxious for work which will pay well and bring in regular money, not with long periods of resting, as actors call it. This means that the pool of white actors is hugely greater than that of black actors. It's purely a social and an economic thing. Fewer black people want to go to drama school and then embark upon the uncertainty of a career in acting, and it tends to be those whose families can afford to support them that do so. To be in the running for an Oscar, you need to be either very, very good at acting, or very, very lucky, or most likely very good and very lucky. Because the pool of available black actors is so much smaller and there's There's demand now for far more black actors than there was even 10 or 20 years ago. Film producers have to dip a lot into the pool of actors whose skin is the right colour, but whose talent is mediocre. Viewers have perhaps noticed this, that a higher than average number of black actors seem to be mediocre or poor compared with the white ones. This is purely a statistical effect. It's not no reflection upon the ability of black people and white to act. No difference there. It's simply that the choice is so much greater when you're casting a white actor because there are far more to choose from. The black talent pool is much smaller, and so there's less chance of getting a really brilliant actor from it. I have an idea that it is economic and statistical factors such as this which have resulted in no black actors this year having been found to reach the right grade. I'm sure that most people in the film industry would be delighted to find a black woman worthy of an Oscar. It would be a real feather in the cap of whoever was producing the film.